over to you. Let me get it.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
My prayer request.
A child is born. When done, when you consider done. I'm just giving an example, yeah? Please. This is just an example. So, select this thing, especially with HIV. We really want all the women living with HIV.
From English, Kiswahili, to their local language. So that yule mtu ambaye huko ndani, kuna mtu ambaye pengine ameenda shule anajua kusoma tu Kiturkana peke yake. Unaweza kuona vile ile kitu iko. But ukienda huko unasimama, you are afraid, wewe unazungumza Kiingereza, uje kwa Kiswahili, hana kuangalia tu. Kwa halali mimi tunasema. But ile wakati ambayo unaenda nazungumza na mimi, hii nasema hii na hii ya bala kona. Hiyo ndio yangu hiyo. Please, most of the barriers ndio kutuelewa, kwa sababu tunajua kwamba one person asikii, lazima unatumia hiyo zaidi mkono.
They will be placed in key locations, starting from health facilities, going to youth centers, going to marketplaces, depending on the key audience who is available, and then they will be placed depending again on the key audience who is there. So suppose
in this strategy there's a section that actually gives some prominence about COVID messaging. We saw things like GBV now becoming an issue. So all that is covered here. Things to do with drugs and substance abuse. You may not necessarily place it in sub-purpose 1 or sub-purpose 2. It's a cross-cutting issue. It's also given prominence.
It's about reprogramming and re-strategizing. So we are using what we call human-centered approach, on which we are looking at the key behaviors that predisposes the communities to HIV and even uptake of services. So in this case, we were trying to look at multiple channels of which you can be able to use to reach the community. And when you use multiple channels, if somebody cannot be able to read, then somebody can be able to listen, or somebody can be able to watch a program that can be able to help him internalize what we want. So we are using the multi-pronged approach so that at least we can reach as many audiences as possible. And also we are using the local artisans to pass the message about HIV in terms of adherence, in terms of going for a test, in terms about abstinence, so that at least by using that message in a multimedia way, we can be able to reach so many people. For instance, some docudramas, the short dramas, they can be sent even through WhatsApp, and someone can be able to get them. Most of them are equally multilingual. We can have them in English, Swahili, and also in Turkana. So now there's a wider audience reach as opposed to the initial one. So we are moving towards human-centered way of getting people directly. Yes.
Today we have come here specifically to engage in an activity that has been ongoing for the last almost 6 months, where we've been developing materials, communication materials and bigger change materials that we have been developing jointly with the Ministry of Health, other partners from the Ministry of Education, and other relevant departments, including Christian and other religious groups such as SUPKEM. And the aim of us meeting here today was basically to disseminate the materials that have been printed out, and also do a validation process for the materials. We are hoping that actually at the end of this exercise, we'll be able to roll these materials out, and that they are going to help us to improve service delivery for the people of Turkana. Thank you.
The various products that we've been able to generate together will go a long way in not only addressing HIV issues within the county, of course, surrounding the 5 key areas within the strategy that we have, which includes prevention of new infections, reducing mortalities to below 50%, reducing stigma, and of course, addressing other related issues like hepatitis B infection in the context of HIV/AIDS. So these materials, we believe that health has social determinants, and the best way to address some of these issues is to communicate, but to communicate in a way that changes the behavior of people to act in a manner that actually promotes health. We understand that, of course, behavior change is a difficult thing to adapt, but we hope that this has been a process that has been done through various stakeholders, including our staff from the ministry, other partners including Imarisha, other stakeholders including religious leaders, and the education system. So we hope that as we disseminate, we look forward to this going a long way in reducing our indicators to what we desire them to be.